An abandoned HS2 compound near Lichfield. This is where the construction of the Handsacre link should be happening. It's designed to connect trains to the nearby West Coast Main Line, allowing them to travel past Birmingham and bring the benefits of HS2 to places further north. A few miles away, another compound where there's nothing going on. But here on the A5 near Tamworth, there is construction on the same link. So what's going on with HS2 and why are some parts of the project on hold? Work on the Handsacre link was stopped more than 2 years ago, several months before the last Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, cancelled the northern leg of HS2 to Manchester.
I say to those who backed the project in the first place, the facts have changed. And the right thing to do when the facts change is to have the courage to change direction.
While the route to Manchester was scrapped and the Handsacre link put on hold, some work is clearly continuing. HS2 maintains that critical utility works and works already underway that intersect with major assets like A roads, motorways and the rail network have continued as planned. But more recently, following the appointment of this man, Mark Wilde, as the new chief executive of HS2, there's been a major reset of the project which is still ongoing. That's already meant a further delay to the project, as Transport Secretary Heidi Alexander told Parliament back in June.
Despite the 2020 Okavi review advising that government halt construction contracts pending improvements in price and simpler engineering, they pressed ahead regardless. It has been no less than a litany of failure. And today I'm drawing a line in the sand, calling time on years of mismanagement, flawed reporting and ineffective oversight.
One thing that drew much criticism and for many highlighted serious issues at HS2 came with news that the project was spending £100 million on a special tunnel in Buckinghamshire to protect bats.
I understand why that would raise public concern.
Speaking to MPs on the Public Accounts Committee, Mark Wilde did his best to justify the expense.
I've actually visited this structure myself in my first week to see it. It's of great concern to me to understand. This is a considerable engineering structure. It's in a railway that will travel at over 200 miles an hour. So the engineering of this whole system is quite considerable. Also, at the end of the day, HS2 must obviously comply with the law. And the law says that we must mitigate damage, harm to protected species.
There's also been the release of this report from leading infrastructure consultant James Stewart. It was a damning indictment of the way HS2 had been running the high-speed project thus far. It highlighted, among other things, failures in governance of the project and serious cost escalations. Stewart recommended a reset of the project, and that's exactly what's happening now. Speaking to MPs later on the Transport Select Committee, Mark Wilde said there was still much work to do on the reset.
When will revised cost estimates be published?
The process of the reset is three distinct things. Firstly, put all of the activities back into the right sequence, making sure that everything is watertight. We're just about to enter a process actually in the next 6 months to do exactly that, wire up everything together. Secondly, there is the assessment of uncertainty. How long will the civil engineering take? Will it take 3 years, 4 years or 5 years? And that uncertainty is a really kind of important calibration. Then thirdly, you've got to attach money to it.
But despite the reset, there's still a lot happening on HS2. Recently, tunnel boring machine Mary Ann broke through, completing its drive from Water Orton in Warwickshire to Washwood Heath in Birmingham. Transport Minister Lord Peter Hendy was there to witness the event.
This is a big civil engineering project, and actually one of the things that's really important about today is we're actually showing that this thing's on the ground and happening, and you know, there's 30,000 people working on this job all the way from Euston to Birmingham, and it's on its way to completion.
And elsewhere on the route into Birmingham, they're building a series of viaducts called the Curzon Approaches. This bridge was recently slipped into place over Birmingham's Lawley Middleway Ring Road.
You look at this is 1,600 tonnes is a superstructure, but behind that one is another 4,000 tonne superstructure. Behind that is another 7,000 tonne superstructure. 1.6 kilometres of viaducts as you come into Curzon Street. When you start to see it, a lot of people talk about coming on the train and starting to see things really grow now. So it is a really exciting part of High Speed 2.
But even here, things haven't always gone according to plan. Recently, HS2 was supposed to move this huge viaduct weighing in at 7,000 tonnes into place. Despite a week-long closure of Birmingham's cross-city line, the viaduct wasn't moved, and HS2 blamed issues related to the welding of the bridge and problems getting the necessary skills to work on it. The slippage in timescales could easily turn into serious delays. Both stations in the West Midlands have certainly been delayed. There doesn't seem to be much going on at the site of the interchange station in Solihull, and although piling works has begun at Curzon Street, the original construction milestones have passed without being met. Only recently it emerged that design work on Curzon Street station has yet to be completed, and further changes had to be approved by Birmingham City Council. Even before the reset is complete, it's clear that the priority now is to get the section between Birmingham Curzon Street and London's Old Oak Common completed first. What happens at Euston and Solihull remains unclear. So too does the possible opening date. No one seems to know when that will happen now. The Transport Secretary has already announced a further 2-year delay, and that could mean that HS2 might not open for another decade.
We need to set targets which we can confidently deliver, that the public can trust, and that will take time. But rest assured, where there are inefficiencies, we will root them out. Where further ministerial interventions are needed, I will make them without fear or favour. HS2 will finally start delivering on our watch.
The biggest construction project in the UK at the moment is not in a good place. Hopefully, when the reset of the project is finally complete next year, there'll be more clarity about where HS2 is heading.